then take back, fold it like that, so that you have your loop, cut. So I'm repeating the first step. So cut, so you have your 4 strands, and you fold them like that, and then I'm going to insert my needle through here. So I'm going to insert my needle through the loop like that, so you see, and then through the fabric here. So I am going to already insert this. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie's DIY. In this video I will show you how to make this shaggy rag with mixed colors on a piece of fabric or cloth or t-shirt. So I have used black here because it's more conspicuous, at least you can see it. And then if you are really making your rag, you need to make use of a sewing thread that is as close to your base as possible. So I have used white, but you should use cream or peach or whatever the color of your fabric is. But I will show you how to cover this in the end so that no one will see this. They will only see this. So as you can see, this is quite tight and you can barely see the mark because I have made it quite tight. I will show you how to do this. You do not need to work with single threads. You can mix this. So you're going to need your thread. I have my white. I have my green thread. You need a needle, sewing needle, and thread. So I will use thread to show you how those stitches go, or white or peach depending on the color of your fabric or cloth or a t-shirt. You will need scissors, and then you will need the fabric that you're going to use. So I have my fabric here, and this is how it looks like on the underside. So first things first, cut your fabric into the size and shape that you want. Oh, I forgot to mention that if you need to make different shapes, you can use your marker pen. So I am going to have my fabric here. I will cut the size that I want and then show you how you make this. So I will cut just a small piece because this is for illustration purposes only. So I have my fabric, cloth or old t-shirt, and then you're probably thinking that I will work with the white first and then the green later. No, I actually mix these two. So what I usually do, I will bring these two ends together of the two colors that I want, so the green thread and the white thread, and then I am going to measure a few centimeters. So usually when I'm making a rag or mat, I will just measure a few centimeters because it does not consume that much anyway. So I will cut a few centimeters. So this is a double strand. I like to use 4 strands. So I'll just fold this. Make sure that I have 4 strands. So 2 will be green and 2 will be white. If you wanted to mix different colors like blue, green, red, yellow, make sure that you have the strands that you need. So for now I will cut this. So here is the reason why I like to use 4 strands. If I was using one single strand like this one, then I will have to stitch so many of these single strands on my cloth or my piece of fabric for it to be as thick as this one. So what I usually do, if I work with double strands or 4 strands, for every stitch I will have 8. Because I'm going to sew here, I'm going to stitch this, and then I'm going to cut here, and then I'm going to have 4. So this is the reason I like to work with 4 strands. So I have, so actually it's not very long, so I have only a few centimeters. This is what I'm going to work with for now. And then I will have my sewing needle and my sewing thread. I also don't like to cut a very long sewing thread because it's going to keep tangling, and I don't like that. So for you to make your work easier when you're making your DIY rag, make sure that you cut short pieces of sewing thread. So I might even cut this further and then make a knot here. So this is how you make a knot. So I have my knot here. So we are making this nice fluffy rag with mixed colors. So what I'm going to do, I could start with folding this. So I said I am working with 4 strands, so that when I cut them it's going to be 8 like this. So I stitch here on the cloth. So I will fold this like that. So there are several ways. One, you can just fold this like this. This is what you're going to stitch here. You can cut this already like that. So you have this. So I don't need to tie this or do anything. I'm going to stitch it directly on my fabric or cloth or t-shirt. So I'm going to insert my needle on the underside of my fabric like that, and then pull, and then I'm going to insert my needle through this loop like that, and then I am going to insert through the fabric like this, so that when I pull, this is going to be attached to the fabric. So insert there and then pull through this other side. like this. Ta-da! So there. So I have 8 strands. So if these are not equal, you can just loosen because you have not finished, or you can trim later. So I will have this, and then to make sure that this does not come loose, I am going to insert my needle through the first hole like this to this side, and then pass the sewing thread over this like that, and then insert my needle through this other hole, and then pull like that, so that it's tight enough and it's not going to come loose. So it's talking about that if I use 4 strands, then when I cut I will have 8, and this is going to be much easier for me to fill this fabric than if I was using only 2 strands, because then I would have a single strand, because then I would have only 4 strands. So you can either make a knot here and cut your sewing thread, but that is going to be a lot of work. So instead of cutting this, just move in the next hole a few centimeters from where you are, just insert your needle to this thread, to this end, and pull it like that. Then take back, fold it like that, so that you have your loop. Cut. So I'm repeating the first step. So cut. So you have your 4 strands, and you fold them like that. And then I'm going to insert my needle through here. So I'm going to insert my needle through the loop like that. So you see, and then through the fabric here. So I am going to already insert this to the other side, so that when I pull, this is already going to be attached tightly to the fabric. So here you are. So here you are. And to repeat that and make sure that this is tight enough, you turn your fabric to the other side, insert in the first hole, this one. This was the first hole. There it is. Pull. And then make sure that your sewing thread and needle go over this, and you insert in this hole. Ta-da! So there you go. So in the end, for now, don't mind about the length. You can always cut all this later. But I'm going to show you another technique that will help you make sure that all these are aligned and you don't need to trim. So here you have them, mixed colors. If you like, you can already hold this and trim them. So there you are. Repeat the process until you're done. So assuming we are done with this, I want to show you the second technique. So if you want to tie this, just insert, make a knot by looping your sewing thread around your needle like that, and then pull. So as you can see, it makes a loop. And then I'm going to repeat that. So you insert your needle in your fabric or the thread like that, make a loop like that. You can take it round twice and then pull. So that is technique number 1. So we are making progress, but we are only at 2. Please watch Maggie's DIY rugs. It's the playlist I have put in this channel. It has all sorts of shaggy rugs and how to make them, like this one. So this is when you mix colors and then you're making this shaggy rug on a fabric like this one or cloth. And then you will see also the video on how to make such a fluffy rug while also using fabric. And then there is how to make this fluffy rug. It looks like the one I had made on sack, except that I made this using a cloth or fabric. So I will show you how to make this also. Also, there is a video on how to make a shaggy rug using the mat mesh, different types of mat meshes, and also how to use a crochet. Like if you do not have the fabric and you do not have the sack material and you do not have the mat mesh, then you can use just your thread alone. And in that case, some of the tools you might need. So some of the tools you might need when you want to make your DIY rug could be the normal crochet, especially if you're not using any of the mat mesh or sack or fabric. You will need to use only this crochet, or you can use this latch. Yeah, sorry, I got colored from my pen. So you can use this latch crochet. This is when you have a mat mesh like this one, and then you might need sewing needle and sewing thread when you're using fabric or cloth or t-shirt to make your shaggy rug. So watch this playlist if you want to see how you can make your fluffy rag, your mat, your DIY rag, whatever you call it. So watch this playlist to see how you can make whatever you want. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and comment. If you're facing any challenges, please leave a comment. If your rag came out nicely, please show us and leave a comment in the comment section. We can actually put some of those comments on Facebook, on my Facebook page and Facebook group, or Instagram or Twitter called Maggie's DIY World. So if you cannot attach an image on YouTube on the comment section, just join Facebook, my Facebook group, Maggie's DIY World, also Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. They go by the same name, Maggie's DIY World. So you can post there your comments or your images and encourage each other.